Hey everybody, it's Lent and Easter is quickly approaching. So I said to my mother, I go, Ma, I'm going to do a Pizzagaina episode. And my mother immediately said, stop. She goes, Pizzagaina is a slang word. I go, what do you mean it's a slang word? She goes, gaina is a slang word. It's like saying ain't in English. She said, the real word is piena, pizza full. I said, but Ma, we've been saying Pizzagaina our whole lives. She says, listen, I'm just telling you it's a slang word. So make sure that you tell everyone that the real word is piena, pizza piena. So, whether you call it pizza piena, Pizzagaina, pizza rustica, or Easter pie, we all know it's a classic Italian traditional dish made at Easter and everybody loves it. So I'm going to give you my great-grandmother from Avellino's recipe that she brought here in 1908. I'm going to get everything ready behind me, and when we come back, we're going to make our dough for our Pizzagaina. Alright everyone, here we are. I'm going to go through all the ingredients with you first. This is 5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, 12 tablespoons of butter, a cup and a half of shortening, and we're going to use 1 cup of ice water. Now, I'm going to make a 13 by 9 pan of Pizzagaina. This dough is going to be enough for the bottom and the top. That's why it's so much. If you're going to make a small round 9-inch, I would cut this in half. But for what we're going to make, 13 by 9, this is the dough that we need for our bottom and our top. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to incorporate the salt into the flour. Right? And then I'm going to add the shortening and the butter. And we're going to use our pastry blender. And we're going to get this so it's like, you know, balls of peas. That's how we're going to do it. Alright? So, get all this in. And here we go. We're going to start with our pastry blender. And guys, listen, this is going to be a process. Alright? You know, you got to get your shortening off and you got to start blending. Okay? So, this is going to take a few minutes. I'm going to get this all blended, and when we come back, I'm going to show you what it looks like before we hit our water in there. Okay guys, you can see what this looks like after about, no lie, 10 minutes of this. This took a long time, okay? But we're well incorporated. I'm going to clean off my pastry blender here, okay? And now, you see I got 2 cups here because this needs ice water. So, take your ice cubes out and measure yourself out 1 cup of ice water. Hey, it's enough. Okay. And now, we're going to start just a little bit at a time with the water. And we start blending it. Right? And eventually, it'll get doughy enough that we'll go to the spoon. And then, eventually, just our hands. So, I'm going to incorporate the rest of this water in, and when we come back, I'm going to show you what your ball of dough is going to look like before we put it in the fridge for a couple of hours. Okay, everyone, here's our dough. The key to working with this dough is flour, because it's very sticky. Alright, so get your saran wrap laid out. Alright, give it a little sprinkle in there with some flour. Alright, we're going to take our dough, I'm going to place it right in the middle. We're going to wrap this up nice and nice. Okay, and this is now going to go in the fridge, I don't know, at least a couple of hours. My mother says you got to leave it in there for a few hours. She goes, you can leave it in there up to 5 days. But we're going to put it in there for a couple of hours. I'm going to get everything cleaned up. And when we come back, we're going to be making our filling for the Pizzagaina. Okay, everyone, we're back. And these are the ingredients for my filling. What I have here is I have 4 pounds, 2 big containers of ricotta. I have 1 cup of grated pecorino romano, 1 cup of grated parmigiano, 2 cups of cubed fresh mozzarella, and 10 eggs. Now, let me say this. At this point, a lot of people chop up their meat and put it into this mixture. My great-grandmother, she did not. My great-grandmother used to say, strato per strato, okay, layer by layer. My great-grandmother didn't cut up her meat and put it into this mixer. She layered it, and the only meat she used was prosciutto. I know a lot of people, they put Gabagolo in there, they put sopressata, pepperoni, salami. My great-grandmother, she did not. My mother always said, Nonna said that was the Cavona way to make a Pizzagaina. So, we're gonna do strato per strato like my great-grandmother did, layer by layer. So right now, I'm gonna mix all of these ingredients into my ricotta. Right, pecorino romano, the parmigiano, the fresh mozzarella, and 10 eggs. Oh boy, I might need a bigger bowl. Alright, so, here we go. Nice. Alright, so guys, I can tell you right now, this is going to take a couple of minutes to get this all mixed up. So I'm going to mix this all up, and when we come back, I'm going to be ready to start rolling out our first layer of dough. Okay, that ricotta filling, it's in the fridge. Now we're back to the dough. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up, okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 60-40, right? I'm going to use 60% of this for the bottom, and I'm going to leave that 40% for the top, okay? Because we're going to have to make a top crust. And like I said, very important that we work with a lot of flour. Not only there, but on the rolling pin as well, okay? So, we're going to start by rolling this out. Now, here's my pan. Remember, this dough is also going to come up the sides. Okay? So, and like I said, you're going to need, see it? Already sticking. A little more flour on top. Nice. Alright, and here we go. Okay, now, get your knife under there, and you start your roll on your pin. Because that's how you're going to transfer this to your pan. Alright, you get it up on your pin, and you get your pan. Of course, give your pan a little bit of a flouring here. Like I said, flour is key when you're doing this. Alright? And you take this, gently, get it on, and now you unroll it over your pan. And now you gotta work it in, work your sides. Don't be afraid if you gotta cut a little off on that back side. Alright, so I'm gonna get this all flattened out in my pan, nice. And when we come back, we'll be filling our ricotta. Okay, here we are. As you can see, that dough, it was not easy to work with, okay? But you get it in there, you make your sides, nice, and we're ready to go. So, first thing is our ricotta layer first. Now, my mother said to me, she goes, you know, don't fill it up too much, she says, because it's going to need to expand in the pan. She says, you got to leave room, and she says, Nonna always put 3 layers of prosciutto. So, that's what I'm aiming for here, is 3 layers of prosciutto with 4 layers of ricotta, because you got to end with the ricotta on top before you put your crust. So, we're going to start with a thin layer at the bottom. Nice. Let's see, a little hollow. Don't have any hollows in there. Nice. Okay, and now we start with our layers of prosciutto. And you know, certainly don't have to be skimpy with the prosciutto. I'm gonna come across the back right there. And then I'm gonna double back this way with a little cross there. Alright. I'm gonna do a double back there. And one more right there. Beautiful. Okay. Don't be afraid to pat it down nice and flat. And here we go again. And like I said, remember, flour is your friend. Okay, again, come over with your knife and start your roll. Make sure you don't stick. Nice. Bring it right to your pan. Roll it right out. Beautiful. Okay, now we're gonna do our edges, and I'm gonna cut some wheat poles in this. We're gonna get it in the oven at 350 for, I don't know, about an hour and a half or so. So, I'm gonna get this all set. I'm gonna get some holes in it. Okay, and in the oven we go. Ah, nice. And I'll see you in an hour and a half. All right, everyone, here we go. Let's see what we got. Oh, look at that bad boy. Nice. That's a thing of beauty. Okay, so I'm gonna let this cool, kind of just like a lasagna. We gotta let it set up for a little bit. So I'm gonna let this set up for about a half hour and cool down. And when I come back, I'm gonna give you that final product. All right, everyone, here we are. And no matter what you call it, pizza piena, pizzagaina, pizza rustica, or Easter pie, we all know it's delicious. Take a good look at that. Look at those layers in there. Oh, I love that prosciutto in there. So, Nana, we've been eating this for I don't know how many years. A long, long time. Never gets old. You know those recipes that just live forever? This is one of those recipes. It'll always remind me of my great-grandmother. Of course, it always reminds me of Easter. And of course, I'd like to wish all of you a very happy Easter. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give it that thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, live, laugh, and cook Italian. One of my favorites.